Good morning, folks. Today is September 26th, 2025, and this is Coffee with Community Services, Alta California Regional Center's weekly service provider meeting. My name is John Decker, the Director of Community Services at Alta. Thank you very much for joining us today. We have 46 participants on so far this morning. Go into some staff introductions and then I'll do our agenda. So we have from Community Services Alejandra on this morning and Michael. And from Client Services, we have our manager Dana on. Good morning. From Community Services, we have Christine on and Shauna and Tom and Carly and Boyd. Good morning. We also have Kylie and Hubert. We have our lead, Jason. We have Jessica, Ethan, our manager, Helen. And I'll stop with Helen briefly and say, congratulations to Helen Neary, who celebrated 25 years working with Alta California Regional Center. Scott, our other manager that is on, Scott Barr. Good morning. We also have from Client Services in Grass Valley, Heidi Dilly. Good morning. Additionally, from Community Services, we have Beverly and Mason. We have our Specialized Services and Supports Manager, Jordan, on, our Housing Specialist, Rana. My assistant, Zach, is on, and Brandy as well. Good morning from Community Services. And from Client Services, Max Robertson. Good morning, everyone. For today, we are going to go into our Deaf Culture 101 and Sign of the Week with Michael. We're going to get an update on our emergency fair that we had yesterday. We're going to do a little update. We are going to talk about Lois, the service provider meetings that are going on. We're going to talk about the DSP collaborative expansion that occurred. We're going to go over some upcoming Alta calendar items. We're going to take a look at the Association of Regional Center Agencies, Capital Currents. We have an update on the DSP internship. We're going to share some updates from our board meeting. And we've got some updates from State Council related to their 5-year strategic plan. So on our agenda, I am going to start by spotlighting Michael Mercado.
Good morning. All right. Are we ready for our signs of the week? We're going to do 3 words today. We're going to do strong, soul, and spirit. All right, are we ready? With strong, you're going to make 2 fists, turn your palms towards you, and strong. So you're strong. Our second word is soul. It's a little bit of a more difficult sign. You're going to start with that flat hand, bend. It's going to point towards you, do a little scoop, and touch the side of the chest. So it's kind of like you're aiming towards your heart or your soul. So if you are left-handed, it's going to look like this. And then our third word is spirit. So you're going to start with your 5s. You take your thumb and your middle finger and kind of pull up and down. Spirit. So it's going to be that middle finger and the thumb are going to pull apart from each other. All right, we'll do that again. So we have strong, soul, in spirit. Good job, everyone. So I'll send that link if you would like to practice some more. Oh, and then I see one person asking, so spirit is similar, the same as ghost. The answer is yes. So spirit is a little quicker. Ghost is more like you kind of add a little drama, a little flair to it. But that's a very good question. They are very similar. Okay, for Deaf Culture 101, or I'm sorry, for in October, I'm going to be sharing some more Halloween terms. I know if you have any terms you'd like to learn in October, send them to me. We will focus on that for the month of October for the different signs. That'll be more Halloween themed. I'll put my email, please. I want you to send me what you would like to see. I love to get the list from you all. So there, I put my email address as well. All right, for Deaf Culture 101. So for International Deaf Awareness Week. So we know that this month is Deaf Awareness Month. The last week of September typically is focused on International Deaf Awareness. So for that full week. And why is this so important? Worldwide, many deaf and hard of hearing individuals live and celebrate and recognize their language, their culture, and there's so many different sign languages. There is not just one sign language in the world. There's many different cultures within the deaf culture. So we focus on International Deaf Awareness Week because there are still a lot of barriers and experiences that deaf individuals face in education, for secular work, and even in daily life still. There are still frustrations and barriers that people struggle with. So we try to focus on what is needed in different countries, whether it's access, rights, or so on. Many countries still do not have that basic access or rights. So the goal is really to encourage equality, equal opportunities, and respecting of those rights. The biggest challenge for deaf individuals worldwide, including in America, is linked to education. Deaf and hard of hearing people go into mainstream schools and a lot of times are not provided an interpreter or no self-contained class with sign language. This is a very common experience. For example, in Tanzania, there are many deaf individuals who are mainstreamed with no interpreter. They don't understand oral language, and they end up dropping out of school because they are not understanding what's going on. So they drop out, they stay home, and they don't have those education possibilities or opportunities. Also, with employment, many deaf people feel like they experience a lot of discrimination because companies don't want to hire a deaf individual. And a lot of that has to do with communication barriers. They don't want to provide interpreters, or they aren't willing to communicate in other means like writing back and forth, or for team meetings, not having captions or interpreters. So that barrier can be a real frustration. Some deaf and hard of hearing people can only work at a basic level, like a blue collar job. So they end up working at factory jobs, but not with no way to get a promotion. But they have dreams, they have careers they'd like to go into, but they have that barrier to employment because they aren't given the opportunity to advance. So International Deaf Awareness Week is a great opportunity to promote equal access to language, education, and employment. So it's for hearing individuals worldwide to be able to learn how to work together with the deaf, to create more access, more mutual respect of their rights and their language. And you have that deaf voice that is really represented in our lives. And we have the same rights as anyone else. So that is really promoted this week. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Michael. All right. Let's see. I have, Dana, I think I will go jump to you next, because I said I would do this at the beginning of the agenda. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And we have this is on ACRC's website. And if you go to our events calendar page, we have some items that we're highlighting here. And so I had mentioned to Dana to please be able to present about our listening and feedback sessions that are coming up. Dana?
Yeah, so we have a total of two, but this is the one for collaboration with State Council of Developmental Disabilities. ACRC will be hosting a listening and feedback session on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, September 30th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It will be at the main regional office of State Council of Developmental Disabilities, addressing any access barriers and wanting to hear some feedback from our community, in particular targeting the African American client base. So just learning a little bit more about what we are able to provide services for and wanting to get more information. You will see the QR code for registration, as well as the link. Seating is limited to 25 attendees, but food will be provided as well. So that's that one.
That's that one, but let's go because we have more listening sessions coming up too. So let me go back to the calendar.
Yeah, there's one additional one.
Let's see, I'll pull it up on this calendar.
Yes.
This one, the 23rd of October?
October 23rd. So just to highlight that one, we continue to have availability for, it is a Zoom meeting, wanting to hear from our target population of those clients that have an eligible diagnosis of cerebral palsy, or client families, wanting to hear from them too, any feedback and what, if any, access barriers to access they're receiving as well.
Lena, can you share? I mean, we've had you and we've certainly had Shamir on here previously. Can you share a little bit about what your unit does, what it consists of? Because I don't know that we haven't really updated folks on that in quite a while, and you're always such a faithful attendee of these meetings.
Yeah, so I am client services manager for our enhanced service enhanced service coordination unit, and it is a specialized unit for caseloads of 1 to 40. In particular, I have targeted clients for Spanish, Hmong, African American, Punjabi, and Russian. And so what we do is that DDS has given us a list of clients to be able to see if they are interested in coming into our unit as availability becomes open, to see if they would like more information about how to navigate regional center services, how to learn how to advocate for themselves. So it's much more of an educational platform that we take with the clients before they are able to return to their unit of origin. So in combination with that, I also work with Shamir Griffin, who is our cultural diversity specialist, and he in particular concentrates on outreach to our underserved communities as well, taking a more cultural and ethnic stance and being able to educate the community about what we're able to provide as well. So he also manages our language access and cultural competency funding from the Department of Developmental Services. So a lot of times those funds can be allocated in order to make sure that we are providing additional services and supports to our underserved community as well. So we kind of tap dance all over the place with what we do, but it's very community driven, making sure we have great partnerships with you guys, vendors, as well as with our community partners, in trying to put quality services and supports before. That's what we do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving everyone a summary of that. Not all vendors know what the regional center consists of, and you play a very important role. And I hope now folks kind of understand why we're pushing the listening sessions. Like in that same context, we have to be guided in what we do as regional centers by our stakeholders. For those of you that aren't familiar with this, that's the whole reason why we have a regional center system as opposed to the way it used to be, which is that there was a state system that oversaw all of the services for people with developmental disabilities. And our private nonprofits are supposed to be regional, and we're supposed to be listening to those specific needs. And we had some stakeholder feedback that prompted us to believe that we need to do some more listening in these areas. And so I just appreciate Dana and her staff taking on the responsibility of ensuring that we are steering the ship in the right direction when it comes to how we're implementing things at our regional center and trying the best to meet the needs of our community. So Dana, again, appreciate you and your staff and everything that you do.
Thanks, John.
Speaking of outreach type of activities, Hubert, I'm going to share my screen with some pictures here of the event yesterday. And I had an opportunity to, um, let's see, are we seeing Michelle Matsumoto there from our clinical department in Austin? Yeah, in the front. All right. So, um, Hubert, I suppose you can unmute and kind of take it away and let folks know what, as I scroll through pictures here, what we had going on yesterday.
Sure. Thanks, John. Yeah, yesterday was our first ever emergency resource fair held at our office in Sacramento. We had, I think, 26 vendors there. So just wanted to say thank you to some of the vendors that are online that were able to have a booth as part of the event. And especially another thank you to our volunteer staff that are also online. These events wouldn't be possible without you guys. And it was a great turnout, right? I think overall, we had probably an estimate of like 300 people there. And that's just attendees, right? So a lot of people
What
got
was
to.
going on here with Lisa Hooks and State Council? What did they have going on?
Yeah, Lisa Hooks was able to give out, I think, just a little over 100 free emergency go kits, like right then and there on the spot. So, these emergency backpacks, they were able to give out for, staff and clients as well. So yeah, it was a great resource, and that's just one of the resources, one of the many resources that were available during the event, right? So, there's resources for housing, transportation, assistive technology, as we just saw, and then Office of Clients'
Our friend
Rights.
Kelsey and the team
Yeah,
from OCRA.
yeah. So it was a really neat event, and not only just the interaction between attendees and vendors, but between vendors and vendors alike, right? So I heard a lot of feedback from the vendors that were there that had a booth, that they were able to do a lot of networking, and they didn't even know that some of these organizations and resources existed. So I thought that was pretty cool. So hopefully in the near future, we could have more events like this potentially in our outlying areas. Um, so stay tuned for that. Me and Michael were able to have our own booth as well. So again, thank you to Michael to kind of just participating in that event with me and kind of, you know, sticking with me throughout the entirety of the event. I know I'm not the easiest person to stick with. So
You guys did an excellent job. I don't know how many different volunteers you guys activated, but we had so many of the folks that are here from community services that were
yeah,
down there, as well as other staff. My pictures don't really let folks know how crowded it was. And so maybe this one, you guys see that picture a little bit little bit of crowded room there. Um, Again, extremely well attended, and again, I appreciate the work. Michael, I'm going to just spotlight you again because you made some efforts to try to have ensure that we had enough interpreters, and we found that we ended up having quite a few deaf individuals that came to this event. Can you share with us about that?
Yeah. I worked it out with interpreters. It was not easy to kind of work that out with interpreters because it was kind of unexpected. There were about maybe 50 deaf and hard of hearing people that came into the event and they were socializing with everybody. They were thrilled to see different booths. Um, we showed one booth was from NorCal, Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. They had a booth. They had alerting equipment for deaf and hard of hearing people, and they saw that. They were able to take a look at that, and they were quite excited about it. Came up to me and they were asking me questions. They wanted to know if we had workshops for emergency resources. We do have the emergency communication cards here. Yeah, see this picture right here? We partnered with, we provide services. We had this alerting equipment. In the past, I did explain a little bit about that. So it helps deaf folks to have visual access to emergency. We did have deaf interpreters. We had to kind of hit interpreters up to go and interpret, and they were kind of all over the place. But it was an improvement. We had more interpreters there, and they really, really enjoyed like checking things out and cruising around.
Excellent. Thank you very much again to Michael and Hubert for all of the planning and how well everything went. And thank you to all of you volunteers and to some of you service providers that were there as well. We had some of our housing access services providers there that support people when they're in a tough spot trying to find housing. So thank you guys very much. Looking forward to this being an event that we do in the future as well. All right. I did mention really briefly that I was going to get into Tylenol, and so I'm going to share my screen here. I am my doctorate is certainly not in medicine, and so I am not a person that can speak credibly per se about some of these things, but the Department of Developmental Services has put some information on their website that I wanted to pass along because it has become a topic of conversation in some meetings related to acetaminophen and pregnancy. So just wanted to make sure that folks see this information that is posted on the Department of Developmental Services website, California Department of Public Health, and the Office of Surgeon General. Additionally, some of you know locally that we have the Mind Institute. Some of you, my staff work very closely with them. They work very closely with Aubin Stamer, who is the director there currently. So I'm just going to copy and paste this into the chat, which is a 2-minute long video that she did that really breaks it down. And again, I think probably better to hear an explanation from the Mind Institute about it than from me. So I think I dropped that in the chat. Did you guys get that in the chat, everyone? Okay, cool. That's the YouTube link. So just wanted to let you know that the Department of Developmental Services has put information out related to that, as has our local experts there, the Mind Institute. Keeping with the theme of the Department of Developmental Services here, I want to continue to plug, and you guys are all seeing DDS's homepage right now, yeah? Front page? All right. So I have mentioned this previously, but we always have new people that join these meetings, and there's 78 of you on right now, so we might have some new folks. The Department of Developmental Services is currently having meetings related to their life outcomes improvement system, which is their system that is going to be replacing our case management and fiscal systems at the regional center, but it is going to have some robust I guess, features that are going to be attractive to service providers as well. Things like being able to log in and look at your authorizations and progress and communicate back and forth with regional centers through the portals. And so with that, there is some virtual meetings where they are gathering feedback. This is one that's coming up on September 30th for behavioral and specialized therapeutic providers. So just want to encourage you as service providers, when the Department of, just as we got done talking about with Dana, how important it is for stakeholder feedback, it is very important for you who are the stakeholders of the Department of Developmental Services, because you are, many of your businesses completely run around the regulations, rules, and the way that they operationalize things at the state. Along with the regional center, it's important to lend your voice to these things that can be very impactful to you. So that's why we will always try to share these stakeholder type of opportunities for you, whether it's stakeholder opportunities with us at the regional center or stakeholder opportunities at a statewide level. All right. I am now just going to navigate to, let's see here, DSP Collaborative. Everyone see the front page of the DSP Collaborative website. So just wanted to provide an update and some excellent news, and want to also give some kudos to some of our local providers here. Eric Champa and Garrett Broadbent were able to join the team that's expanding the DSP Collaborative down to Los Angeles. Oh, Eric is on. I found him on my screen. Eric, do you mind unmuting yourself? We had a little kickoff meeting. It seemed like we had pretty good attendance.
Yeah, yeah, we did. I couldn't actually see how many folks had attended, but I thought that the LA Regional Center group did a good introduction to the collaborative and the website. We're able to cover a lot of the topics. It's brand new for them, so they're really just understanding kind of from a very beginning point what the collaborative is about. So I think we did a good job kind of explaining our short and long-term goals with the collaborative, and hopefully the rollout goes smoothly.
Yeah, we were Garrett Broadbent from Creative Living Options and I were talking about it, and I think adding, this Los Angeles County and this huge vendor network down there to the DSP Collaborative. I mean, it's great adding the 7 regional centers as well and the things that they can add, but just very interesting to see what the connections are that people make, what kind of ways they want to promote it down in Los Angeles County. And we're looking forward to a statewide rollout of this. But the next thing that will pop up on the DSP Collaborative website is a map of Los Angeles County, and then it will be open for service providers down in that area to add their job postings, just like we have here in the Sacramento area. So again, just want to continue to thank our service providers on the partnership for this. For those of you that are new and are not familiar with the DSP Collaborative, this is something that I would hate to count what percentage of Carly's time is spent as our employment specialist working on this, but it's probably been quite a lot over the last few years. But it's our initiative to support service providers and making sure that you can hire the direct support professionals that you need. And again, we're expanding it to Los Angeles County and then looking at a statewide expansion as of the end of 2026. All right. The next thing I wanted to share my screen with here, is I'll open it up and see if I can make it as big as I can, is if I could get, let's see if Michael Hayes is still on. I'm going to share the screen with your flyer here. We have an opportunity coming up tonight for some free tickets, and that wanted to be shared with this group from one of our active participants. So I wanted to see if you wanted to unmute yourself and let us know about the event this evening.
Yeah, tonight we're doing bringing John P. Key back into the Sacramento area. I'm always about giving back to the community, and so part of this is we want to offer 100 tickets to this community. So if you have people who know the legend of John P. Key and his music and sound, we'll be at Calvary Christian Center tonight on Del Paso Boulevard. Doors open at 6 o'clock. If you could, I'm going to put in the text the flyer as well as my phone number. Text me the name of your organization and the people that will be participating, and we'll get you in because we want all of our community to have an opportunity to experience this wonderful night. But I love what we're doing and the impact that we're making in the community. And this is just one more way of us showing the community that we care.
Well, you have to say where you're from too, because not everyone knows.
Oh, I'm sorry. Michael Hayes, Destiny Transportation Services. And in the future, our day program. So we're looking forward to doing a lot of stuff together.
That's right. Right on. All right. Thank you. Just stopping that share. All right. Let me go over to DSP internship. Again, is something that is continuing to launch at the department. You guys have gotten multiple presentations in the past. We've had All's Well come here and talk with you about that too. I'm just going to drop into the chat again for those of you that feel like you need more updated information related to the DSP internship, a link right there. All right, we had our board meeting last night, and as usual, we conduct our business within our board, and there was a few things that went on. One, oh my goodness, I see Carol Wilhelm has joined us. Carol, we had something go on last night. Max was there, I think, for this, weren't you? Yeah. So, Carol, we had a little celebration for a number of years for some of our staff last night. What was it for you, Carol Wilhelm? You gotta unmute.
35.
35 years. Congratulations to Carol. That was got the room very excited
Thank you.
yesterday when we announced that time frame. We've got probably half of our community services staff that were not born then. So that is awesome to see this level.
Yeah,
I
most
will
of my
just say,
unit too.
Carol remembers this, and I'm sure several other managers would remember that when I was a new manager, I knew absolutely nothing about service coordination at the regional center. I had never been part of a service coordinator. I had been worked in community services only, and all of a sudden I was supervising service coordinators that had to do IPPs, and I had to use Sandus, and I had to approve purchases for vendors, and I had to read SIRs, and I knew how to do nothing. And Carol taught me everything. Carol taught me how to be a client services manager, how to make sure that you are as responsive as possible, as fast as possible to your staff. And so, anyways, I appreciate Carol. 35 years is a huge accomplishment, and that's countless staff that you've been supportive to over the years. So we did that first. We did recognitions. We mentioned about Helen's 25 as well. We also did the approval of our social recreation policy. So I think it was just last week I shared with you folks the changes that the Department of Developmental Services requested the regional center make related to the social recreation policy that our regional center has and the way that we operationalize and proceduralize it. By and large, the request from the department was for us to remove many of the type of guidelines or the type of, in essence, amount of service recommendations that our service coordinators make during planning team meetings related to different types of social recreation requests. Additionally, certain types of activities, events, amusement type of things are things that previously were not things that we had allowed and are going to be allowable. So just wanted to share that was approved by our board of directors as we made the revisions to that policy. One of our board members did speak very passionately about her concerns about our service coordinators being able to have all the support to be able to make the decisions in planning team meetings. Our executive director did a great job just talking about our commitment to providing the best support possible within the guidelines that we kind of now need to follow. So that went through last night for social recreation as well. Additionally, during the meeting last night, unfortunately, Peter Mendoza, who is from the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, was unable to do his public comment. And so he actually texted me to make sure that we shared information about the State Council on Developmental Disabilities and their state plan update. So the State Council on Developmental Disabilities is in law and in federal law, and it is an agency that has local chapters. We just heard about Lisa Hooks, who was giving out all those awesome bags yesterday. Peter Mendoza is also one of our local staff members for the State Council on Developmental Disabilities, including being an individual served by the regional centers. He's also a very strong housing advocate and supports Rhonda and I doing public comment and providing stakeholder feedback. So he wanted me to make sure that I am really promoting that the State Council on Developmental Disability is looking at where they want to put their attention from 2027 to 2031. So I just want to encourage all of you, again, if there are issues that are out there in the realm of developmental disabilities, whether it's with the regional centers, whether it's with the Department of Developmental Services, whether it's with the way the medical the medical field works, behavioral health works, the interactions of systems, like if there are issues that you have and that you encounter as service providers, this is just another opportunity for you to be able to get your voice heard and possibly have people supporting legislation that could make changes to some of these challenges and problems that you see. That's the strength of feedback at this type of level to the State Council, especially feedback as well at the Department of Developmental Services level, is that you can really make big statewide impact changes. So just want to encourage people, take an opportunity to check this out. I'm going to drop it in the chat as well from the State Council on Developmental Disabilities. All right. Additionally, and we don't have, let's see here. Sorry. We don't have Virginia Gabby on, but maybe Jordan can narrate us through this, what we're going to watch next. So we have a 1 minute and a 20-second long video that's going to be coming up, Jordan. And
Okay, cool.
what is this? What are we going to be seeing here?
Yeah, so we are going to be seeing our regional center's first vendored group home for children with special health care needs. There is only one other program like this in the state. This would be a very similar model, right? It's for children. Some of you guys might be aware that we have adult residential facilities for adults with special health care needs. So this is targeting youth, right? We are going to be looking at targeting clients, young children that are currently living in subacutes due to their intensive medical needs, and their family might not be able to provide all of that nursing assistance that they really require to stay safe. So these facilities do have access to 24-hour nursing. It's a combination of licensed vocational nurses and, of course, registered nurses. So this is located in the Carmichael area. It's a very lovely home for 5 total children. And we're very excited. We're going to be having our first placement starting in October. I know DDS was also just very excited about this project. It really can help families, right, that are in such a hard decision to have to determine if they're going to be able to keep their little one at home due to their intensive medical needs or send them to a subacute, right? And some of our youth go to Saratoga subacute, and that's not close, right? That's hard for families. So for us, we're just so excited. We do have 3 youth slated for this home, and we have 2 vacancies. So we're going to be pushing that and working with our children's units to see which families and children that we'll be able to put in this lovely home. So thank you, John, for showing the video.
Absolutely. It's been about 10 years since I've known SB, and SB, who's the licensee and owner of the this home, and she's got some other homes with us as well, with the medical model, and like the level of caring, the level of professionalism. I still remember back to doing our Sonoma closure meetings with all of the families that were so concerned about the care that their loved ones were going to receive in the community. And having SB sitting there in our conference room talking to the families and like reassuring them what kind of support they're going to get for the rest of their lives, like in their homes, was what really helped us move some individuals out of the developmental centers and give people different ideas about what kind of care you can get. So I'm going to share, I think, did you hear the sound at all? I don't think. I'm going to try to
We haven't heard
optimize it
the
for
sound
sound.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, so let me stop sharing real quickly. I'm going to reshare it with sound. Okay, are we seeing the video now? Yes? Right.
Early Dairy's open house, and it's been a long time coming, 2.5 years. Yay! Here we are, and we're very excited. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be opening our home to the children. This is the second group home for children with special healthcare needs. This is the newest program that DDS is expanding, and we are very fortunate to be the trailblazers of this program. And our goal is to set the higher standard, to make these children thrive in a home setting, and to give them more freedom and to see the world broader. And by living in this home, we're excited. They will feel the sense of belongingness as individuals with unique needs, with unique strength and weaknesses, and we would like to, provide that nurturing and environment where they feel that there's love, there is a form of communication that they can open up with us, and then also see the world on a different sense, knowing that this is their home and we are here to provide for them. And we could not wait to extend our hands and our arms to hug them and treat them as our own children. So we're here today at our Dairy open house, and it's been a long time.
Thank
There
you.
we go.
Pam.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
And you could see the images of the clinical team from Alta, Jordan's CPP, Community Resource Development Plan folks, our clinical, all the GDS folks. Again, it just it's a brand new model of care. That's what's so exciting. Like we've had an opportunity to open up the first community crisis home in the state of California, right? We got out there in front doing the enhanced behavioral support homes as well, because we've got great housing developer organizations that have been able to get us these homes. And we've got some really fantastic, really high level providers. And we could show you what the alternatives look like, the large medical facilities that these kids are in. But any of us that have been like around children's services, like I see Laurel on right now, one of our longtime folks, like separating families and having a kid being so far away from their mom and dad is like the last thing we want to see. So having these local options for the first time ever for our community to offer them is amazing. And so again, I just want to give kudos to Jordan for always being willing to, and her staff for taking on doing new things and trying on new models, because it's a lot of extra work opening up like the first one of these types of things. So again, congratulations to you guys on this opening. And again, SB is amazing. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing these kids having amazing outcomes in this home. All right. I did want to just share a last, because again, I think it's important that you guys get all the good updates about things. So I did want to just share some last information from the Association of Regional Center Agencies. So some of you are aware that they put out their capital currents very frequently, encourage people to sign up for that. And so in here, they promote things kind of like, we promote for you all as well. In this case, there's a bowling night coming up for one of the client advisory committees down at Inland Regional Center. So increasingly there is more like webinars and trainings available for caregivers. And so that's a big issue at our regional center. Our director of client services, Michelle Johnson, gave an excellent presentation last night at our board meeting about all of the services and supports that we have in place and our initiatives in place to support our aging clients and caregivers. And so when things like this pop up, this is a webinar on supporting social connection on caregivers. We want to make sure that we promote it. Additionally, I know we've talked about the things that the ARC of California is doing and Caring Futures, but they are starting to have some more initiatives. And actually, I'll say that for Jordan, for next week, we'll make sure that we get an update on all of the Caring Futures information from the ARC of California, because again, they are doing that. ARCA is additionally promoting these service provider workshops. So again, recommend people attend the lowest workshops. More about disability benefits. So, check out some of this information available here. Obviously, some discussion about, we are coming up to federal budget time, so we will see what kind of wackiness we get out of the federal government over the next month from now. If you're interested in more information related to acetaminophen and autism, there's the ARCA additionally put out information as well about that. And then there is some additional updates about the bills. I think I shared these 3 bills with you about a month ago. And so this is an opportunity again for you, if you are interested in reviewing the laws that we believe are very impactful to people that are either served by regional centers or work with regional centers. Then I encourage you to check out the updates that the Association of Regional Center Agency puts out. Additionally, the other groups, I think like California Community Living Network and CDSA also are very involved with some of these bills. And so just encourage you to lend your voice as service providers. Again, sharing some research here, and just wanted to let you guys know that if you want to reach out to them, you can check them out on Facebook and things too, because again, this is where there's great new updated information that we are able to share with you almost every week about what's going on statewide and federally. With that being said, I know we went over our calendar and take a look at some of our upcoming events. I will just give another plug for you, even if you don't think a listening session is for you personally, that you serve in families. And so please think to share those listening sessions with the people that you serve through your vendorizations as well. And again, I just want to give a note of appreciation to Michael and Hubert and all of the volunteers, their managers, Michelle and Jordan, who worked to have a really successful emergency fair yesterday. So thank you all very much. We hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week. Take care.